So anyway, while I was in Arizona, United did the right thing. They sealed the file, even though the hospitals refused. And the reason why they did that was because the doctors could see when I would go in and report the fraud and say, this hospital dumped me, this doctor threatened me, I'm being refused cancer treatment. Each doctor would just, not all of them, there were some whistleblowers that I recorded telling me the truth. And their admin ended up sending them home or waiting till the shift changed, and then they would send another doctor in to threaten me and lie and cover for all the previous doctors. But United sealed the file so the doctors couldn't see what the previous ones wrote. Oh, the last doctor called her a crazy conspiracy theorist, so I will too. So then, guess what? The doctors got recorded refusing to do any type of a... I recorded one doctor coming in. She was real nervous. It was at some little clinic that had medical and you could take a shower if you were homeless. It was started with a P. It was over by St. Joseph's Hospital. But anyway, the doctor, she was like real nervous. She's like, I can't see any of your history. I said United sealed it because of the falsified records and false claims by all of the previous doctors. That's been going on for 2 years. Said it started in Missouri, then followed me to Arizona, or followed me to Florida, where my ex-boyfriend and abusive ex-boyfriend and employer's father's a hospital board member committing fraud with convicted fraudster Florida, former Columbia CHAC CEO Governor Rick Scott. And she was like, I can't see you. I'm not going to be able to do an exam, and I got to go call my lawyer. What? You can't make this shit up. So I had an appointment. They billed my United for that visit, and she's telling me she's not going to do an exam because she doesn't know how to cover the previous doctor's asses. I told her, I said, they sealed the record so you can't just wrote whatever the previous doctor wrote. You're going to have to come up with new lies, and I guarantee you they're not going to match what the previous lies were. And I didn't tell her what the previous lies were. So she goes and tells the security that I'm being combative and threatened her, and I picked up my phone. You could see the little needle moving. I said, I'm recording everything. That lady just refused to see me, even though you've already billed my United and you're mandated to see me because my caseworker sent me here. My file sealed because of a whole bunch of false claims. I would say over $1 million in false claims. As she's upset because she doesn't know how to falsify the records to match what everybody else wrote. And so she said she had to go see her. She said she got real nervous and said, I got to go call my lawyer. And sure enough, she was in there on the phone looking real nervous with somebody. She was on the phone with her lawyer looking real nervous. She was looking out the window at us like, and the security was like, she said, nobody's going to see you. I mean, the whole clinic, just like everybody disappeared. There was nobody there but me and the security officer. The receptionist didn't know what to do. The clinic manager was gone. Everybody left because they did not want to because they knew I had to report. See, now the next step is you get to ask for a new doctor. Well, they weren't going to give me a new doctor. So they all disappeared, so I couldn't get them on record refusing me a new doctor. The shit I recorded in Arizona, Florida, New York, and Vermont is shit you can't fucking make up. You can't fucking make it up. And they already admitted I have cancer. That's what's so stupid. I recorded a physician's assistant at University of Vermont. Who's treating your cancer? I said, I can't tell you that. That's attorney-client privilege. They're part of my legal team. Well, then I'm not going to give you your blood pressure meds. I'm not going to give them to you unless you agree to see psych. I'm like, why do I need to see psych? Why are you making a specialty referral without doing any type of physical or verbal examination? And I turned my phone around. I said, I'm recording. So they had the signal blocked, so I couldn't call police. So I opened up, I said, this motherfucker's in here threatening me. I yelled it to all the nurses. I said, somebody get the fucking police here right now. He said, he's threatening me because I was sent to police by Economic Services Division because one of his little doctor friends and your hospital administrators went online, pretended to be me, and got Vermont Medicaid in my name, even though I'm already covered by New York Medicaid. And I took the awards letter to Economic Services, and she says, you got to go to police. I recorded the officer basically accusing University of Vermont and their partners at Safe Harbor for doing it. And he said, well, I'm going to go see if they have any complaints. Basically, the cop threatened me, admitting he's going to help them lynch me. He didn't tell me the city of Burlington was partnered with UVM and Safe Harbor. So they got a conflict. They were supposed to turn it over to Cousy, Chittenden Unit for Special Investigations. Not to mention all the fucking records say cancer. It shows it. So why they really think they're going to keep lying with the she's just an addict conspiracy theorist, she doesn't have cancer, is beyond me. I've already recorded them admitting that I do. And that includes the nurse at Safe Harbor. She says, we need to get an MRI so we can see exactly where all the cancer is in your, like, dental plate, where all it's spread. But her records say something entirely different. Her records say that I don't even remember what she wrote, but I was only in there for a blood pressure check. I'm not their patient. They don't have a signed consent to treat, which is another problem they have. That's another ridiculous story that you can't make up. They actually typed up all these completely false medical records and made a referral to gastroenterology, saying that the swollen lymph node full of cancer was just a benign fatty lipoma that's only this big around when the motherfucker's as big as a softball. You can see it. If I were to turn my back around, you could see the motherfucker through my clothes. And here's the thing, United, once I got to New York, United participated in the retaliation right along with the hospitals and the doctors. When they started defrauding my United, the Byron Brown's shills at Homeless Services got me illegally covered by New York Medicaid, and of course they defrauded, which at one point I was covered by Centene, and then I switched to United. I don't remember all the details, and I don't want to go into all of it. I ain't got enough time, but United worked with Byron Brown's Special Victims Unit, or what they called Crisis Services, and the doorbell rang. I already knew they were going to do it because two people from United called me at 7 o'clock at night. They said, we're responding to an email you sent. I said, yeah, I'm reporting fraud. I'm mandated to do it because this is a subsidized plan. This is New York Medicaid that I didn't apply for. Or I shouldn't have been rewarded because all my injuries are work comp. And the fraud was so bad that United shut down my file in Arizona. Well, they did. Well, you sound like you're in distress. I said, oh, you want to gaslight me, do you? You want to do this psycho shit? I said, I don't even know who the fuck you are. They tried to tell me they were two doctors with United Healthcare. I didn't see any fucking credentials. I don't know who the fuck you are. I said, if you want to talk about the fraud, we'll talk about it. But you ain't going to deny it because I recorded every word of it. And your own goddamn people shut down my file in Arizona. So how are you going to say it? How are you going to act like it's not happening? And I don't remember what all was in the whole phone call last 45 hours. So I knew they were going to try to lock me up on the psych ward again. They had locked me up on the psych ward in Buffalo at ECMC for 6-8 weeks, something like that, had forced me to take psych meds. And if you don't take them, they get a judge to order it, and they have their hospital police hold you down and shoot you up. No matter how much you tell them they falsified the records, you need to get SVU. The hospital police are as corrupt as the street police. And yes, I did call Buffalo PD. Byron Brown Shills just did nothing. So anyway, even after 8 weeks of being on their, whatever the hell their antipsychotic was, Risperdal or some shit, I got the number to the New York OIG's Medicaid fraud unit. A nurse was sitting outside the little area where the patient phone was, listening to every word. My story never changed. After 8 weeks of being on an antipsychotic, my story never changed. And I had a 45-minute conversation with the lady at the Medicaid fraud unit at the New York Medicaid office of the Medicaid OIG, something or another. It's just a part of the New York OIG, and then they have Medicaid OIG and whatever else. After I hung up, I said, y'all fitting to get audited. She just said she's launching an investigation. Said that I said, I've been here. She said, you've been there how long? I said, 8 weeks. She said, that's not how psych involuntary committals work. The only time they can do an involuntary committal is when you're a threat to yourself or others, and then it's 3 days max. I said, most of us here have been here months. I said, there's people that are complaining, they want out, and what they do is they say you don't get out unless you go to so many groups. So basically what they're doing is they're padding the bill. The minimum room and board that they're going to charge your Medicaid is $2,600. Then each group you go to is another $300 or $400, and you don't get to see a licensed therapist. It's just some EMT or some flunky they have up there on the floor. And there's nothing therapeutic about it, but God knows how much they get to pad the bill for each one. And what they didn't realize is I always had multiple phones on airplane mode that with audio recordings, they didn't search my boobs. They didn't. I have a bra. I had phones in there recording everything. And the audio recorder uses little or no battery. I think I started out at 100% on one phone, and I don't think that phone even got past 50% after being up there for 8 weeks recording everything. Oh, well, you recorded other patients. I recorded other patients complaining of fraud. And I recorded an assault. They actually put a guy on there to assault me. He said, I'm here to kill her. Luckily, I had a protective detail up there that I didn't know about. There was a veteran up there. He says, well, I'm here to protect her, and broke the guy's nose. I jumped up and threw up my fist. I was ready to throw down. I was ready to kill the motherfucker. Well, the other guy, the veteran, tall, thin guy, came in and just knocked the motherfucker out. So I never had to bump with him. But problem with him is he was one of Piper's shills. See, Piper, it has Homeland Security protective services on me. They're trying to protect me from my parents. That's just, but then he's on record, because I asked for a nitroglycerin because I was having chest, you just want to rush. So they're still accusing me of being a drug addict. What they're doing is Virginia Piper saying, yeah, she's a domestic violence victim of Chad's and her father's, but she's still just an addict and she's still just a conspiracy theorist. Because I'm accusing her because her hospital's involved too. But it gives her an excuse to have all these people all over me 24/7. They're protecting me. That's why I have